Okay, in this video, so we will see the another type of complex tissue, that is phloem. So here, so phloem is a complex tissue generally found in vascular system, which it is a heterogeneous vascular tissue. This phloem is also called as a bast or leptome. This also known as a bast or else called as a leptome. Okay, so this phloem is generally meant for, conduction or transport of food material which was synthesized in the different parts of the plant, particularly in the leaves. Food material, whatever the food material synthesized in the leaf, has to move, has to means transport all the parts of the plant. That will mean through this phloem only. Okay, so it is also a complex tissue. So again, this phloem generally composed of four types of phloem elements or phloem cells. They are sieve elements, which include sieve tubes and sieve cells, companion cells or albuminous cells. Third one is phloem parenchyma, and fourth one is phloem fibers or bast fibers. So these are the four main elements which are there in this phloem. Okay, so what are these? So those four here is sieve elements, which include sieve tubes and sieve cells, companion cells or albuminous cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. Phloem fibers. Okay. So these are the different elements of phloem. Generally, these originate from the procambium or vascular cambium. So here we will go one by one. First one is phloem elements or sieve elements. So here you see the sieve elements are the tube-like structure. Okay, see this is the sieve tube. So this one is a sieve tube. Clear? This one is sieve tube. It's a elongated cell. Okay, these cells are arranged by end to end. This is the first one. Again, this is in a second tube like this. Okay, these sieve elements in the collective term of sieve, which include sieve cell and sieve tube. Okay, so these sieve tube and sieve cell are distinguished on the basis of sieve areas and sieve plate only. Okay, in the sieve tube we will find some sieve plate here. Sieve plate here. Through this sieve plate, one tube is connected to the next tube like this. Next tube. Okay, but in the sieve cells there is no sieve plate. The sieve cell that does not contain any sieve plate. Generally, this sieve cell present in only in the lower plants like pteridophytes and gymnosperms. Just remember, sieve cells means they are the primitive sieve elements. Generally, we will see these sieve cells in the lower plants like pteridophytes and gymnosperms. In these sieve cell is a simple structure. They do not contain any sieve plate. But in sieve tube, generally we will see this sieve tube in the angiosperms. okay, which contain a sieve plate. Through this sieve plate, one tube is connected to the next tube, and whatever the food material or the organic solids are there, they pass through this sieve plate. Okay, they pass through this sieve plate like this. So the main function of sieve elements is a transport of food material from leaves to different parts of the plant. That is the main function of the sieve elements, whether it is a tube or a cell, whatever it is, the function is supply or transport of food material. Clear? So this is the first one, and this is then a diagrammatic representation. You see, this is a tube, here the plate. So this is a phloem parenchyma cell. This is a companion cell. Okay, we will see next one. So next one is a companion cell. Next one is companion cell. So here this is in a diagram. So companion cell is a parenchyma cell. It is a densely cytoplasmic and nucleated parenchyma cell. Generally, it is in a living, parenchymatous cell, which are associated with the sieve elements. Sieve elements means sieve tube or sieve cell. So that association means both the sieve elements and this companion cell originate from the same mother cell. Same mother cell. For example, from the single mother cell, they evolved these two cells. One is, companion cell, and the second one is sieve element. Sieve element means sieve tube, for example. You see. So this is in a sieve tube, one cell. Okay. So second one is, this is in a companion cell. See. So from single mother cell, these two cells are evolved. So this is the relationship. This is the association of companion cell and sieve tubes or sieve, cell, whatever it is. Okay, this is a point. Remember, these are associated with a common origin. Means the mother cell is same. So companion cell, the whatever the blue color one is here is, this is any companion cell. This is a living cell. They are thin-walled, elongated, and living cells. Okay, each cell contain a large nucleus. You see here the large nucleus. Okay, these companion cells are present only in angiosperms. Companion cells are present only in angiosperms. They are also means only present in angiosperms means generally they are absent in gymnosperms and pteridophytes. Okay, so here one more term is there, that is albuminous cell. So in gymnosperms, the associated parenchyma with the sieve cell is albuminous cells. So instead of this tube, there is a cell that is sieve cell. So instead of companion cell, whatever the cell is there in the gymnosperm is albuminous cell. Just you remember these two terms. So this is albuminous cell. This is sieve cell. Okay. So in the angiosperms, there is a sieve tube, but in the gymnosperm there is a sieve cell. In the angiosperm there is a companion cell, but in the gymnosperm there is a albuminous cell. This is the difference. Just you remember this. So here The function of a companion cell is it support the sieve cell in conduction of food material, in transportation of food material. Clear? So this is about the companion cells. Okay. So one more thing, just you remember, this is a sieve plate here. In each sieve tube cell having a sieve plate in both the ends. Okay, through this plate, the molecules, the movement of molecule takes place through this plate only. Okay, so this is about the, companion cells. Uh, Next, third one is parenchyma. So that is phloem parenchyma. So generally, phloem parenchyma occur in both primary and secondary phloem. Okay, these are the living cells. These are living cells. They means they possess cytoplasm and nucleus. Clear? Okay. Then they have a cell wall. This cell wall is generally composed of cellulose. In the cell wall, they possess primary pits. They possess pits. In the cell wall, the material is cellulose, and also they possess primary pits. So in the parenchyma, there are two types of cells. One is axial parenchyma cells and ray parenchyma cells. One is axial parenchyma cells. Second one is ray parenchyma cells. So just you remember this. So sometimes what will happen in the inactive phloem, the phloem parenchyma cell wall also means lignified with dead material. The dead material is lignin. Dead material is lignin. When a phloem is in a inactive state, whatever the parenchyma cells or the phloem parenchyma cells are there, they become lignified. They become lignified. Clear? Next point is the phloem parenchyma are characteristically not found in monocots. Okay. So next come to the function. The main function of phloem parenchyma is storage of food in the form of starch or fat. Okay, sometimes it also store the food material in the form of secondary metabolites like tannins and resins. So tannins, resins, sometimes mucilage or in the latex. Okay, latex or in the mucilage. Clear? One more function is phloem transfer cell help in the short distance transport of solutes. Okay. If it is in the form of a transfer cell, it is involved in the transport of solute in a short distance. So this is about the phloem parenchyma. Once again, I am repeating. First point is, so generally parenchyma is a living cell. They possess cytoplasm and nucleus. Generally, it is found in both primary and secondary phloem. Clear? So the cell wall is generally made up of cellulose and also possess some pits. Okay. Generally, there are two types of cells in this parenchyma: axial parenchyma cells and ray parenchyma cells. If the phloem parenchyma or the phloem is inactive, when so the cell wall become lignified. Then generally the main the main function of this phloem parenchyma is to store the food material in the form of a starch or in the form of a fat. So also store the materials in the secondary metabolites like tannins, okay, resins, latex, some gelatinous substance like mucilage. Clear? So this is about the, phloem parenchyma. Clear? Next, fourth phloem element is phloem fibers. Phloem fibers or bast fibers. Phloem fibers or bast fibers. Clear? Here they are sclerenchymatous cells. They are sclerenchymatous cells. So here sclerenchymatous cells mean generally they are in generally talking in generally they are non-living. They does not contain any protoplast at maturity. So in the maturity they become dead. Okay. So these fibers are elongated cells. They are very long. You see, this is a phloem fiber cell. They are very long, having tapered ends. Okay, when very narrow lumen, very narrow lumen. Clear? So these fibers are found both primary and secondary phloem. So generally we can see this on both the primary and secondary phloem. So here each fiber cell interlock with the other fiber cell. This is one fiber cell. Again, this is next fiber cell. See like this. Here this is way of interlocking. So they are fully interlocked with the other fiber cells. See. Okay. Next point is here the cell wall is very thick. Because of this thickening, they have their narrow lumen. The central lumen means the empty portion of empty place in the center of the cell. This one is the lumen. This become narrow. How? Why means because of the thin lignified cell wall. Whatever the cell wall is there, they become thick like this. Okay. So then the whatever the empty gap there in the center become narrow. So that is the narrow lumen. So the cell wall is very thick and lignified. So it is a dead cell. Okay. So generally this considered as a dead cells. So they contain that does not contain any nucleus or any protoplasm. Okay. So and the main function of this fibers or bast fibers is the mechanical support. What is that? Mechanical support. So this is about the phloem fibers. Phloem fibers. Clear? So now we'll see some diagrammatic representations. Say this is the complete phloem diagram. Just you observe the diagram, how they are associated with each other and play role. See in the center, so this one is a sieve tube. This is a tube. This is a tube. They play a key role in this transportation. So both the ends of this tube cell having a plate, that is sieve plate. Here see, this one is a sieve plate. In the sieve plate, see there are some sieves, gaps. Okay, here also. Okay, just imagine, suppose whatever the food material is there, some organic food material is there, the solute molecules are there, they move through this plate, okay, towards up or towards down. Clear? So this is one tube cell is connected with the next tube cell. Okay, this is in the center. So here there is an associated cell in there, that is companion cell. So this is an associated cell, that is companion cell. Clear? This is the living cell. So having a dense cytoplasm as well as in the nucleus. Next, third one is a parenchyma cell. So phloem, parenchyma cell. See, so this is a phloem, parenchyma cell. Here, so this possesses a cytoplasm, a big vacuole as well as in the nucleus. This is also a living cell. So, okay, clear. Here, next one is a fiber cell. So this, you see, this dead cell is having a long tapered end and with a narrow lumen cell is there. See. So this one is a fiber cell, that is the phloem fiber cell. Clear? So the main function of fiber is which give a mechanical support. So all together called as a phloem. So it is in a complex tissue. So means they are having a means composed with a different cells, different elements. So one is a tube, one is a companion cell, one is a fiber, one is a parenchyma. Clear? So each component or each element has have its own function. They are a diverse function is also in diverse nature. So this is about the complete detailed information about the phloem. Clear? So now we will see some more information about the phloem. So generally in the phloem there is a primary phloem and secondary phloem. Primary phloem and secondary phloem. So there are few differences between these primary and secondary phloem. Now we will see the differences one by one, point to point. The first point is, suppose this is a primary phloem. Imagine in the next column this is a secondary phloem. Just I will go one by one a few points. I want to bring your notice. Just you try to understand. Generally, primary phloem develops from the procambium of apical meristem, whereas secondary phloem develops from the vascular cambium. Vascular cambium means it is a lateral meristem. It is a lateral meristem. Second difference is, so the phloem fibers are found in outer part of the phloem. In the secondary phloem, fibers found among phloem parenchyma cells. Okay. In the primary phloem, sieve tubes are usually longer with a narrow lumen, whereas in secondary phloem, sieve tubes are shorter with a very broad lumen. Broad lumen. Okay. In the primary phloem, parenchyma is poorly developed, whereas in the secondary phloem, so the phloem parenchyma is abundant. Okay, generally which store the food material, one more important point is, I mean, medullary rays are found in the primary phloem, which are developed from the activity of apical meristem. But in the secondary phloem, medullary rays found in the region where the activity of ray initials starts. Okay. So these are the few differences between the primary phloem and secondary phloem. Clear? So one more thing is, we will see the some differences between some vessels and some sieve tubes. Sieve tube. This is a sieve tube. Okay. So you will see the differences. So generally vessels have a open ends. Okay, but whereas the sieve tubes means there are sieve plates on the both the ends of the tube. See, there is a sieve plate here, but in the vessels they have a open ends. Second one is vessels are wider. Vessels are wider than the, I mean, sieve tubes. Sieve tubes. So vessels have a thick, rigid lignified walls, whereas the sieve tubes are thin and cellulosic cell walls. Okay. So, but in the vessels, there are different types of cell wall thickenings. We will find the different thickenings, but no such specialized thickenings are found in this sieve, I mean, tubes. Clear? So one more difference is in the vessels, generally they are the dead when they get maturity. Okay, but in the sieve tubes, they are alive when even their maturity. Okay. Vessels are permeable to both solute and solvent molecules, but sieve tubes are semi-permeable in nature. Okay. The sap concentration is very low in vessels. The sap concentration is very high in tubes. Generally, the vessels does not have any turgor pressure, means the turgidity is almost nil. But whereas in sieve tubes, the turgor cells have a high turgor pressure. Okay. So these vessels involved in the translocation of both solutes and solvents. But whereas sieve tubes, they involved in the translocation of only solute molecules. Only solute molecules. Clear? So in the sieve tubes, when you cut, suppose when we cut the phloem from the sieve tube, there is a outcome of cell sap. Cell sap. Okay, for example, If you take a toddy palm tree, you know toddy palm tree. When we cut the stem, when we make some short cuts, the stem, we get a sap. We get a white milky like liquid. Okay, this is a cell sap. This is a cell sap. So this is because of damage of sieve tubes. While making a shortcuts, they damage the sieve tubes. From the sieve tube, whatever the cell sap is there, they come out. They come out from the tube. So these sap is generally we used to take in. Okay. So this is about the major differences between the vessels as well as the phloem tubes or sieve tubes. So this is okay. Okay, with this I will stop here. Okay, so far we have completed two important tissues, xylem and phloem. Next most important tissue is there, special tissue is there, that is secretory tissue. In our next video, we will see this tissue. Okay, thank you.